Now, before we head out on the sea trial, because this is such a departure for Princess, I thought it was worth catching up with the guys from Princess very quickly for a quick debrief of what this boat is really all about. So I've cornered Bill Barrow, their international sales manager, and he's just going to answer a couple of quick questions and gives a bit more information about the X95 and the X concept in general. So Bill's with me on the upper deck. And my first question for you, Bill, is what is the general idea of the X95? Because it's quite a departure from the traditional Princess.
That's quite right, Nick. This is a totally new class of boat for Princess. It gives you a long-range cruising boat with an absolutely massive amount of accommodation. The internal volume of this boat at 95 feet is equivalent to the volume of a 115-foot boat.
Wow.
It's absolutely staggering. It gives you a 5-cabin layout. It gives you a sky lounge. It gives you all the features that you'd expect on a boat, as I say, of around about 115 feet, but in 95 feet. One of the real benefits of this boat is that not only is it's elegant, it's stylish, it's architectural, it retains all those fantastic Princess features that you expect to see. So seakeeping, as I say, style, interior finish, exterior finish, as I say, all the features of traditional boats that we've built in the past. But also, one of its really big features is it sits in below the 24-metre rule. So below 24-metre rule takes it in load line and 24-metre rule to a CE class boat, which is a boat that is a much more economical boat for any owner to run and to keep. Your manning levels are less. It's much more easily available to make a boat available for charter. Its design constraints are less, so from our point of view we can put more style into the boat. We're not restricted by large yacht code, and that for us is a great benefit in producing an amazing product which has been already hugely successful in the marketplace.
So I have a question then. 24 meters, that's about, I think from the top of my head, about 82, 83 feet. How do we get a 95-foot boat to be 24 meters long?
Now there's a secret, and to be quite honest, quite a few manufacturers have gone down that road. But basically, if you look at the moulded length of the boat, she is under 24 meters. She's 23.97 in her moulded length. Now that is the length of the whole moulding. On this particular boat here, we have basically a bolt-on section up forward, which you'll see a witness line down the forward end. We have a bolt-on wave piercer, and also we have a bolt-on aft section. So those sections obviously take the boat to 95 feet, but the moulded length of the boat comes in below 24 meters.
Okay, and that's the load line length that you're referring to?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So to me as an owner, if I'm buying a boat and I want to stay below that 24-metre load line length, which clearly is important, what am I actually physically gaining as an owner?
As an owner, you're getting a boat, as we talked about a little earlier, about manning levels on board the boat. So you, with a basic Yachtmaster qualification, could drive this boat. You're not looking to highly qualified crew. You're not looking to pay and have all the costs of a highly qualified crew on board the boat. You're looking for a boat that, when you park it up, doesn't need to be manned. You can park it up and leave it. There are many benefits in the running costs of a boat that fits below 24 meters. Basically, this boat is similar in terms of driving to a 65-footer or a 68-footer or a 70-footer. It comes into that category of operation, which is obviously much more economical than running in the large yacht code of 100-foot plus.
So I hadn't realised this. So if I've got a 35-metre super yacht, I can't get back at the end of the day, tied up at the marina and just walk away from it?
No, you can't. It's got to be manned at all time.
Wow, I had never realised that. Okay.
Yeah, you've got manning restrictions on large yacht code boats,
okay,
which are very restrictive in terms of practice, and obviously are very costly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, they would be, wouldn't they?
Also, in terms of design, when you look at the design of a large yacht code boat, you're far more restricted in what you can actually do. and that relates to lots of properties within the boat. It relates to opening ports. It relates to a lot of detail in the, as I say, the design of the build of the boat.
So a question I get asked a lot on my channel is, what is the biggest boat that I can run without a crew? And it sounds to me like, if you're competent, obviously nobody can just simply buy this if they've never had a boat before and got no experience and go out and drive it, and I appreciate that completely. But assuming that you're a competent boater, and imagine that you've got a competent family, say, I don't know, perhaps your wife or your husband comes boating with you, and maybe you've got another couple that come boating with you, and all of you between you are competent with the lines and all that kind of thing. You could actually run this boat completely without a crew.
Technically you could. Technically good.
Right.
Yeah, if the conditions are perfect, and it's fairly flat water, and you have a completely competent and qualified in terms of your basic RYA qualifications, you could run this boat.
Wow.
Obviously the difficulties with any boat of any size is mooring in bad conditions.
Yeah.
So that's when you're going to be pushed. I'm not suggesting that this boat will not be crewed. Obviously she's built with crew cabins,
of course,
to carry anywhere between 4 and 6 people.
Yeah.
And all these boats will be crewed. But as you say, technically it would be possible.
So what you've got here really basically then is a super yacht in terms of your actual volume and how it looks and how it feels. But in terms of operation and I suppose the legalities, it's more like having a motor cruiser. It's more like having a Princess 60-footer, something like that.
Very much so. You're running a 115-foot boat, or the volume of a 115-foot boat, with basically your qualifications of running a 65, 68, 70-foot boat. That's attractive to a lot of people. As I say, it is a boat that is always going to be crewed. It will always end up being crewed. It is a big beast.
Yeah.
But the amount of volume, the amount of space, 5-cabin boat, amazing sky lounge, amazing helm. You've seen the helm today. It's a big ship helm.
Yeah.
It really feels a big boat, and it gives you all that feeling of luxury and quality that you'd expect out of any Princess. But you'd expect to see it in a 115, 120 footer and not in a 95 footer.
So is what we're seeing here then basically the beginning of a whole new line for Princess? We're going to see other X boats?
You are going to see other X boats. I think you've already seen the X80. There is an 80-foot variant that is coming, and we're already forward sold with a few of those products, although we're very, very early. You are going to see a Y95. So the Y95 is a bit more traditional in its appearance and its look. So very much more for the, as I say, for the customer that's looking for a more traditional boat than the X. The Y will be based around the same hull format. So it'll have the same wave-piercing hull. It'll have the same transformer on the aft end of the boat. You'll have the same lower accommodation, but the main deck and the fly will be a traditional flybridge type of layout.
So this has been obviously quite a departure for Princess, and I guess it's raised a few eyebrows within the customer base and in the industry, but I guess the real acid test is this: how many have you sold?
We never really like to talk about numbers, but bear in mind this is number 2, and the first boat was launched this summer. We're into double figures already.
Really? Wow.
And that is double figures off drawings and off a mock-up. If you remember, we took a mock-up to Dusseldorf, which was a full-size scale interior, and that's a huge benefit to our customer base in terms of making that final decision to purchase.
So there it is. That is the backstory of the Princess X95 direct from Princess Yachts. I think that's been absolutely fascinating. Huge thanks to you, Bill. That's been really interesting, and I hope that's helped to explain to you guys exactly what this boat is all about. So thanks again, Bill, and we look forward to seeing some new product from Princess very soon.
Our pleasure, and thanks for joining us, Nick, on what has been a bit of a breezy day, but a beautiful day in Plymouth.